This is the Daily Brew, 5 minutes or so of grounded insight for a business that works with you, not against you. I'm Teresa Cleveland. Let's go. I can't tell you how many times I've had this conversation with a business owner, and honestly, how many times I've even had it myself. And it usually starts out the same way. Somebody will say, I found this program or this plan or this way of doing things, and it works for them. So I figure I should try this too. Why reinvent the wheel, right? Now, on paper, that makes sense. And, whoever created the program, the plan, the method, it seems to be successful, right? And they look calm. Their business appears to be humming along. So, of course, the answer must be simply follow their steps. Meanwhile, here in real life, I remember a time or three in my own business where I was trying to do exactly that. I had the calendar laid out, the content schedule was mapped, the routine was dialed in a way that, the specific thought leader swore was the key. And yet I kept thinking, I kept having this feeling, why does this feel so uncomfortable? And it's not that it felt impossible exactly, it just felt wrong, it felt off. And, sure, technically I could do the thing, but everything in me just kept pushing back. And for a while, I believed all the hype that I'd taken in subconsciously over time, all those little, sound bites that pop into our head, and assumed that the pushback I was feeling meant that I was being resistant or undisciplined or making excuses or my mindset wasn't right. But eventually, I knew that wasn't it either. And what finally clicked was this. I wasn't failing at the plan was failing me. Because what the plan assumed, without ever saying it out loud, was that a certain kind of person was running the business. A person who loved, in this case, frequent output and thrived on constant visibility. Somebody who had the same energy rhythms and the life structure as the person who was teaching it. And that definitely wasn't me. And here's the part I wish more people would say plainly. You can borrow somebody else's strategies, but it's not always going to fit you the way that it fit them. You don't have their capacity or their life context. You don't have their connections, their perspective, and you don't have their relationship to pressure or pace or decision making. And when you do try to run your business like they do, it starts to slowly feel like there's friction everywhere. Things take longer than they should, simple tasks feel heavier, and you start questioning yourself instead of the structure that you're forcing yourself into. And unfortunately, that's when we have a tendency to just double down. We try harder, we try to push through, we tell ourselves we'll adjust eventually. Or, it won't always be this way, you're just paying your dues. But the reality is that it simply doesn't fit. And that's okay. Have you ever slipped on, you're getting ready to leave the house and you slip on your mom or your sister's shoes because you weren't paying attention. They were all right there together. And there's this immediate feeling of, well, that feels weird. And you look down and you see what happened and you chuckle or even laugh out loud and you kick them off, right? No harm, no foul, no judgment. It doesn't have to be any different in business. It doesn't have to say anything about you. And yeah, if we've invested a decent amount of money into it, it's hard to just LOL and move on. But I think the important thing is don't let it say anything about you, right? If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. I can't say that enough. It's okay. And this is where this good stuff really gets to happen. It's where we begin to start wondering if maybe the right way is our way. What if, crazy thought here, what if the goal could be to run your business in a way that works with how you think, how you operate, and how you actually live? That's why it's okay to take pieces of things, right? I heard way back in the day, was it Abraham? I don't know. I can't remember. It was during my woo-woo stage, and I never remember all the details, but this is the gist of it, right? Like you're floating down the river and these things, they, float up to you. And it's okay to pick it up, to turn it over, to look at it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You put it back in the water and you let it float on. It's for somebody else. It can fit somebody else perfectly. It's just not yours. So give this a try, okay? If there's something you're doing in your business that consistently feels draining, and I don't mean challenging or growth stretching in the good way, but if it really feels off, that's worth paying attention to. So instead of asking, what's wrong with me? let yourself off the hook and try asking, what is it about this approach, this program, this whatever that isn't working for me? And then just listen. Notice what happens over the next week or so as you shift your focus. And remember, awareness sets the stage for change to surface and occur. And that's it for today. If this hits home, follow the show and share it with someone else who might need it today. I'll meet you back here next time.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.